dive. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating exploration into something incredibly fundamental, yet, often overlooked. The simple act of chewing.
Yeah, just chewing your food seems so basic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We've got some unique material here centered around Dr. Kuniyasu Fujiwara, a U.S. certified doctor of chiropractic, and his whole concept of the divine chewing diet.
right.
So our mission today is basically to pull out the most important insights from these sources, helping you figure out how this everyday action could maybe be a genuine shortcut to better health.
And it's pretty remarkable, actually, how something so simple, seemingly, can have such, well, widespread implications. We're talking everything from weight management all the way to complex bodily systems.
Okay.
So we're going to try and unpack not just the what the diet is, but really get into the why it matters, bite by bite, so to speak.
All right, let's do it. So let's start with the person behind this idea, Dr. Kuniyasu Fujiwara, U.S. certified chiropractor, 2 decades of experience. That's substantial.
Oh, yeah. And look at the range of patients. Over 100,000 people. J-leaguers, top soccer players, Olympic skiers, UFC fighters, even celebrities with jaw issues.
Wow. So he's really specialized in the jaw area, TMJ, temporomandibular joint, and the upper neck, the cervical spine.
Exactly. And what's really insightful, I think, is his personal story. He actually suffered from TMJ disorder himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he dealt with the pain, the headaches, the back stiffness, all of it. And he found relief through chiropractic treatment when he was studying in the U.S.
So that personal experience must have been a huge motivator.
Absolutely. It fueled this dedication to helping what he calls jaw refugees. You know, people really struggling with chronic jaw pain, maybe clicking sounds, difficulty opening their mouths, often feeling like they've tried everything else.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just clinical, then it's personal. But okay, what's really interesting here is that he didn't just stop at TMJ.
Right.
He took ideas from his earlier book, an Amazon bestseller in Japan about self-curing TMJ, and expanded it into this divine chewing diet.
And specifically targeting metabolic syndrome and overeating, which is a big shift.
Yeah. And here's the core idea, which sounds pretty revolutionary. People eat too much, not because they actually need more food, but because they chew. Well, carelessly, without precision.
Hmm. It's a fascinating premise. It really flips the script on why we overeat.
So that leads to the big question. Can just chewing correctly, focusing on the how, actually reduce how much food you eat?
The sources definitely suggest yes. The idea is that by teaching you to really savor each bite, consciously, you let your body's natural satiety center, the part of your brain that says, I'm full, work properly.
So it's not about deprivation.
Not at all. The goal isn't just weight loss, though that's often a result. It's more about cultivating the sustainable habit, enjoying healthy eating. And, as a side note, it might even help reduce food waste.
Okay, that's a helpful overview. So for someone listening, maybe someone who's tried a bunch of different diets, how does this divine chewing diet stack up against, say, the more common methods?
Good question. Let's look at calorie restriction first. The sources point out pretty strongly that just cutting calories too much can be harmful. Plus, it completely ignores the act of chewing itself.
Right, it's just about the numbers.
Exactly. The divine chewing diet, on the other hand, focuses on the process, the chew count, without restricting specific food types. So it positions itself as maybe a healthier way.
Okay. And what about low-carb diets? Carb restriction.
Well, those can be effective, sure, especially initially for weight loss. But the sources mention potential downsides like health problems from carb deficiency. And again, it doesn't really incorporate chewing as a factor.
And enzyme diets, focusing on enzyme-rich foods.
Similar story there. Good for digestion, probably, but they tend to neglect the chewing count and can limit your food choices quite a bit.
So the big advantages highlighted for the chewing diet are it's healthy, it's sustainable, you don't have to ban foods.
And crucially, no calorie counting needed for weight loss, according to the sources. It's even suggested for people who don't exercise much or dislike it. Although, yeah, there's that initial adjustment of learning to chew properly, like with your mouth closed, which might feel a bit weird at first.
This actually leads us to a pretty provocative point in the material. A critique of exercise as the main way to lose weight.
Yeah, this was quite striking. The argument is that exercise is often, well, inefficient purely for burning energy. Like a 30-minute cardio session might only burn off the calories from one meal.
Meaning diet changes become almost essential from that perspective.
That's the implication.
Yeah.
And they also point to potential risks of excessive exercise injuries, fatigue, stress, even potentially lower immunity because of increased cortisol.
Wow.
And apparently, the weight loss effects from exercise alone might diminish over time. There's a study mentioned where diet groups lost significantly more weight than exercise-only groups after a year.
And get this, exercise might even trick your brain.
Well, it can activate the brain's reward system, which could potentially increase appetite. Plus, we tend to overestimate how many calories we actually burn during that workout.
Okay, so that's a critique of exercise as the primary tool. But wait, the sources also critique other chewing diets?
Yes, the more conventional ones. Some traditional methods recommend chewing, like 100 times or more per bite,
That sounds exhausting.
and potentially harmful.
Mm.
The sources argue it can strain your teeth and jaw joints, maybe even lead to TMJ or teeth grinding,
Ah, so too much of a good thing.
potentially. Plus, those methods might not be sustainable long-term. Think stress, cravings. And if you're not careful, you could neglect overall nutrition.
So if intense exercise has drawbacks and extreme chewing counts have drawbacks, how does this divine chewing diet thread the needle?
The key seems to be integrating these specialized jaw adjustment exercises. Sagaku ikusasaizu. They're designed to support proper chewing, not just demand a high count, aiming to avoid those very problems.
Okay, that makes sense. It's a more holistic approach to the jaw mechanics. Let's dive deeper now into some of the science connecting chewing to overall health, beyond just eating.
Right, and one really compelling link is between obesity and occlusion, basically your bite, how your teeth meet.
How does that work?
The sources suggest people with obesity often have bites that aren't quite right. This can cause extra tension in the chewing muscles, the masticatory muscles.
Okay.
And that tension can even radiate to the neck and shoulders. Paradoxically, this inefficient chewing might actually lead to eating more.
Because you're not getting the right signals.
Possibly. Whereas proper chewing does a lot.
Mm.
Breaks down food thoroughly, increases saliva, which has digestive enzymes, boosts nutrient absorption, reduces oral bacteria.
Which helps with bad breath and cavities, right?
Exactly. And it helps regulate eating speed and, crucially, activates that satiety center we talked about. It's noted that obese individuals often chew less effectively and tend to swallow food too soon.
Which could mess with digestion and getting nutrients. That's a huge connection. And you mentioned digestion. This ties into gut health, or chukatsu.
Absolutely. Proper chewing is presented as like step one for a healthy gut.
How?
Well, as we said, it kickstarts digestive enzyme secretion, makes nutrients easier to absorb. There was a 2018 study mentioned that found better chewing linked to lower blood sugar and triglycerides after meals and better insulin sensitivity.
Interesting.
Plus, more saliva means more lysozyme and immunoglobulin A, compounds that fight bacteria in your mouth, preventing bad breath, gum disease.
Okay.
And it helps you get more out of dietary fiber. Good chewing helps break it down, supporting gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs.
SCFAs, what do they do?
They're amazing. They nourish your gut cells, boost immunity, help prevent lifestyle diseases. They're really key players in gut health.
Wow, and this gets even more intricate with the gut-brain axis, right?
Oh, definitely. The idea is that your gut bacteria produce compounds that literally send signals to your brain.
Affecting what? Mood? Appetite?
All of the above: appetite, stress response, mood. It's this constant communication loop involving neurotransmitters, hormones, the nervous system.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Those SCFAs we mentioned, they can activate nerve circuits and hormone release. Tryptophan from food, broken down properly, is a precursor for serotonin, the mood regulator.
Ah, the happiness chemical.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have gut hormones like GLP-1 and PYY that tell your brain you're full, suppressing appetite, while another hormone, ghrelin, does the opposite, stimulating hunger. Chewing influences this whole balance.
So if the gut-brain axis is off or gut health is poor, could that relate to common issues like constipation or diarrhea?
Directly, according to the sources, constipation is called a major enemy of diet.
Why is that?
Because waste and toxins build up, nutrient absorption gets worse, and you can even gain weight from retained stool-absorbing water. Chewing helps prevent this.
How?
By helping break down fiber, stimulating gut movement, increasing that feeling of fullness so you don't overeat, boosting saliva for digestion, and even reducing stress, which we know can mess with gut motility.
And diarrhea.
Chewing helps there too, by improving the balance of your gut microbiome, aiding digestion overall, and ensuring water is absorbed properly. It's all interconnected.
It really is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, shifting gears slightly, but staying with these deep connections. Hormonal harmony. The sources talk about the sphenoid bone
Yeah, that butterfly-shaped bone at the base of your skull.
and its relationship with the pituitary gland, which sits right near it.
Exactly. The idea presented is that if the sphenoid bone is even slightly misaligned, it could put physical stress on the pituitary.
And the pituitary is the master gland, right? Controls Lots of hormones.
Precisely. It's a major control center. It secretes hormones for growth and repair, growth hormone, thyroid function, TSH, reproduction in men and women, LH, FSH, lactation, prolactin,
Wow, the list goes on.
stress response hormones, ACTH, hormones involved in water balance, ADH, social bonding, oxytocin, even regulators for other hormones.
So a misalignment there, theoretically, could cause ripples everywhere, affecting stress levels, maybe reproductive hormones.
That's the compelling suggestion. Increased stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, maybe decreased reproductive ones, all potentially linked back to this physical alignment issue at the base of the skull, influenced perhaps by jaw function and chewing.
That's mind-blowing, honestly. That something seemingly mechanical could impact your whole endocrine system.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? If something as basic as chewing can have these deep physiological effects, what other simple daily things are we overlooking?
Good question. And speaking of effects, what about mental and cognitive well-being? The sources suggest chewing can actually promote relaxation.
It sounds counterintuitive, maybe, but yes. Remember that tension in the chewing muscles we talked about? That often causes headaches, neck stiffness.
Right.
Well, rhythmic, proper chewing is said to help relax those very muscles. Research cited suggests it increases blood flow there, reducing fatigue and tension.
So it could actually help alleviate headaches and shoulder pain.
Potentially, yes. And that physical muscle relaxation contributes to a broader sense of mind-body calm.
Beyond just relaxation, does it affect the brain itself, like cognitive function?
Apparently so. Studies are mentioned that suggest chewing increases blood flow to the brain, which can improve things like working memory and how fast you process information.
That's fascinating.
And it might even help combat stress and depression. The mechanism proposed involves stimulating serotonin release, that mood booster again, and suppressing cortisol, the stress hormone. It might even help with insomnia symptoms.
Chewing your way to better sleep and mood. Who knew? Okay, let's transition to something maybe a bit more tangible for some people, appearance. The sources talk about beauty and anti-aging benefits.
Yeah, this was interesting too. The idea is that chewing increases blood flow to your face.
Like a mini workout for the face?
Kind of. That increased blood flow promotes skin cell turnover, leading to a healthier complexion. And saliva isn't just for digestion.
What else is in it?
Things like hyaluronic acid for moisture, ceramides, elastin for skin elasticity, plus those antibacterial properties we mentioned.
It's better skin from chewing.
That's the claim. And yes, the workout aspect for facial muscles is said to help create a tighter jawline, reduce sagging, maybe lessen wrinkles. A natural anti-aging effect. Plus, better chewing means better absorption of beauty-boosting nutrients from your food. Things like polyphenols, carotenoids, even collagen, if you're eating collagen-rich foods.
And logically, this must extend to the health of your teeth and gums, too.
Absolutely. Proper chewing acts like a natural cleaning mechanism, removing food debris. It also stimulates your gums, which is crucial for preventing periodontal disease.
And the saliva.
That increased saliva flow is key. It washes away acids and bacteria, significantly cutting down the risk of cavities and, yes, bad breath.
Okay, and earlier you touched on sleep. Let's circle back to that connection sleep quality. How does chewing impact how well we sleep?
Well, think about it. If food isn't chewed properly, it sits in your stomach longer, maybe causing indigestion or reflux when you lie down.
Right, definitely disruptive.
Proper chewing eases that digestive burden. And interestingly, some studies apparently show a direct link, particularly in older adults, between a higher chew count and better reported sleep quality.
Suggesting a real physiological benefit for rest.
It seems so.
One last piece here before we talk practicalities. Food enzymes.
Right. Enzymes naturally present in food are vital for breaking it down and absorbing nutrients.
And chewing helps them work better.
Exactly. By increasing the food surface area, chewing allows these food enzymes to get to work more effectively. This reduces the load on your body's own digestive enzymes.
Leading to more efficient nutrient absorption.
Yes, and potentially supporting your immune system too, partly through enzymes like lysozyme found right there in your saliva.
Okay, so we've covered a huge range of potential benefits, from digestion and hormones to mood and even appearance. Let's bring it back to the practical. What does doing the divine chewing diet actually involve? And who is it really meant for?
Well, the emphasis isn't just on chewing more, but on mindful eating.
Yeah.
It encourages eating whole, natural foods, yes, but the core is slowing down.
Sitting down, no distractions.
Exactly. Tuning into your body's actual hunger and fullness signals. It's positioned as a sustainable lifestyle shift, not some quick fix.
And the idea is that this naturally helps you eat less, right?
Yeah.
But not through forcing it.
Right. Several mechanisms are proposed. First, reduce food volume chewing breaks food down, misses it with saliva, makes it seem like more in your mouth, signaling fullness sooner. A Yale study apparently showed more chewing meant less food intake.
Makes sense. What else?
Increased satiety. Chewing starts digestion early, leading to feeling fuller. And Osaka City University studies supported this: more chewing, more satiety, less food eaten.
Okay.
Then there's better digestion and absorption. More surface area for enzymes, better nutrient uptake, less chewing can hinder this.
And it takes longer, right?
Extended mealtime, exactly. Taking longer to chew naturally stretches out the meal, giving your brain more time to register fullness. An Australian study confirmed this leads to eating less.
And presumably, you enjoy the food more.
That's the idea of improved meal satisfaction. Savoring the food increases satisfaction, helps sustain fullness, reduces the urge for more. Plus, you get better food recognition, appreciating taste and texture more, and even better food safety, like detecting small bones or things that shouldn't be there.
So this mindful chewing approach is suggested as beneficial for pretty much everyone for managing intake.
Yes, regardless of age or weight, but with particular potential benefits for those who are overweight or obese, helping manage calorie intake more naturally.
Now, this all sounds incredibly positive. But we need balance. You mentioned earlier, and the sources acknowledge, that the evidence specifically for weight loss needs a closer look.
That's a really important point, yes. While there's compelling evidence and studies cited for the wide range of health benefits, the TMJ improvements, gut health, brain function, all that the research specifically isolating the chewing diet for weight loss is described as more limited. Meaning the quality of evidence varies. Some studies might only show short-term effects on weight, or maybe no significant weight difference compared to other methods, even if people chewed more.
So it's not necessarily a guaranteed weight loss miracle, even if it helps with many other things.
Exactly. It's consistently shown effective for TMJ symptoms and those broader health aspects, but the direct, long-term weight loss impact might be less definitively proven across the board, or perhaps more variable between individuals. It's crucial to have that balanced perspective.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So considering all this, who is this book, this approach, really aimed at? Who should be paying attention?
According to the sources, it's really for you, the listener, especially if you feel like you've been on the diet roller coaster, trying things that fail, getting caught up in fads, or burning out on extreme workout plans.
People feeling frustrated or maybe even a bit hopeless about weight loss?
Yes, anyone looking for something potentially more natural, effective, and less about deprivation or punishing routines. No strict calorie counting, no mandatory intense exercise.
And it seems practical for different lifestyles, too.
That's the idea. It's tailored for busy professionals who find it hard to eat healthily, offering practical tips. And for stay-at-home parents, it's framed as flexible enough for a hectic schedule.
And even for professionals in the field.
Yeah, it's also presented as a resource for weight loss coaches or nutritionists who are looking for effective, sustainable strategies to offer their clients.
Right. Well, we've certainly journeyed through a surprising amount today, all stemming from the simple act of chewing, from the jaw itself to the gut, the brain, hormones, even how we look.
It really does seem like properly chewing your food could be this overlooked catalyst for pretty widespread health improvements.
It's quite profound when you think about it that way.
And if we zoom out to the bigger picture, this whole deep dive really begs the question, doesn't it? In a world that's always searching for the next complex gadget or superfood for health, how many of these fundamental everyday actions are we just completely overlooking? What other simple intuitive habits, just like chewing, might you re-examine in your own life that could unlock unexpected health benefits you haven't even considered?